Hello, everyday goddesses and divine feminines. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to take a little pick a card look at healing messages from your masculine. We're going to look at his energies, his feelings, his blockages, what he might want you to know at this time. Okay, so we're going to start with the Radiant Rider-Waite with this beautiful agate of carnelian and onyx. And then we've got a green jasper with the sacred bee and the light seers with the beautiful clear quartz. Okay, so take a deep breath. Just tune in for a little bit if you haven't looked at the thumbnail yet, and just decide. And we'll start with pile one. Okay, so hello, pile one. Welcome. Let's get a little sense today of what's going on here. And when we look at the masculine energies, you know, we're really trying to look at them in a way to see what can be healed, what energies can be moved forward, not just sort of spying on the events, but trying to look deeper into the connection and looking at what energies are at play so you can clear yourself, send the highest intentions, and move the healing journey along. All right, we want to be productive. So let's just see where he's at as far as the energy of this connection. Oh, we've got the Knight of Cups and the Star and the Nine of Cups. All right, pile one. This is beautiful energy for you. All right, he's feeling very romantic and a sense of renewed romance. There's hope. He sees you as his star and he's feeling very emotionally satisfied. This is a beautiful spread, pile one. This is just optimistic and gorgeous, and it's the star represents, you know, there's that highest level of spiritual hope. Lots of cups, lots of love here going on in the energetic level of your connection. When we look at the energy, this is very much, you know, starting in the 5D on the energetic level of the connection. But these cards are so strong that I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't start to now come down into the 3D. Let's look at the 3D and see how he's thinking and feeling. Oh, that's such a contrast. Okay, Five of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and Nine of Pentacles. Well, he clearly sees you as a beautiful, powerful woman into your own right, but this is someone who's feeling a little less than. He's not feeling quite up to speed on the earth plane. He feels very, Five of Pentacles is that energy of feeling left out on the cold. And the page represents apology. You know, he sees you very much up on a pedestal, and he knows that he needs to say something to you. He needs to come forward with some sort of communication, and he knows this on the emotional level, that to bring this beautiful spiritual energy in, he's, you know, he's got to make some moves here. So even though he's feeling filled with spirit, is still in the emotional body, you know, he's feeling regretful about the past, and that he knows that he's the one who put himself on the outside. He knows that he's done this. And you, the divine feminine, though, you know, you've really done such a great job. You've done a beautiful job of manifesting yourself in your own abundance, and he sees that you've done this. And it's so funny because here he is sort of in this darkness, but notice how these two yellow cards are here together, and he knows by moving into his own power and stepping up and communicating, making some sort of either an apology or some kind of a beginning of an offer, that he can start to move himself towards this beautiful vision of you. and not just a vision, that really who you are, you and your abundant garden. He knows he needs to come through that, but he's still struggling with that a little bit, more issues of his own self-esteem and his own feelings of unworthiness that he's caused himself. What's shifting is the Six of Pentacles, Four of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. Okay, so this Four of Wands in the center is the first place I'm going to start, because that's the card that we all want to see. This is twin flame union. Pile one, you guys are really moving forward. There is a sense still of things being a little out of balance. He's coming forward with this beautiful, he wants to rush in with this sort of beautiful sexual energy. It can be a little player-esque, this energy, Knight of Wands, all right? This is sort of the, kind of a little bit of a doggy card there. So just make sure that as you guys start to move into this next section, that you hold your boundaries, all right? You stay in that beautiful queenly energy. He might sort of come in a way that's a little awkward and a little player-esque. The intention though, is to get this thing really moving towards union. But it's like a plane sort of coming in for a little bit of a shaky landing. So be very mindful of the steps of how he starts to execute this, all right? So so it gets a little smooth, because he wants to be there. He wants it to be elevated and beautiful. He just might not quite have the skill set yet. So you don't want to be really punishing about that towards him, but you do sort of want to make sure that, you got to train men sometimes about the way they act. Allow that sexual energy to come through, but make sure you guys don't start sort of jumping the gun until he gets a little bit more mature. He's coming out as the page. He's, he's the knight twice. He's still got some really young energy coming through, all right? So he's kind of barreling in, but he's not quite an emperor energy yet, all right? Let's see what's kind of blocking him. He's embarrassed. Well, there he goes. Yeah, he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed about the way he behaved. He's embarrassed, I think, about being a little immature. I think he knows it. I think he just kind of knows that that's who he is. So, be loving and stay in that beautiful wisdom, and let him find his footing. Support him in how he is, right? Don't let somebody walk on you too much, but also, just let him be loving as he bumbles around a little bit. Get into that unconditional love space. Let's find some angel energy for you, Divine Feminine, just to sort of give you some guides about how to hold the space for him as he comes barreling back in, okay, for another round. Because you know what? We want this round to be successful, but you're definitely, holding the more mature space. So see what we have as far as angel guidance. Victory. Omega, victory, your desire is coming to fruition. Keep up the good work. Well, this is such a beautiful, optimistic reading. If you pulled pile one today, you should be feeling really good about yourself. You've done a lot of healing, and you've really opened up the energetic space for him to come forward. This is just really gorgeous. So as far as anchoring his energy and letting him, develop and evolve as he comes through, stay in that energy of the Queen of Pentacles, just like, I'm good, I keep myself abundant. This is a very open energy that you've developed. Just stay in it. Try not to get too reactive if he makes missteps, or and try not to be too judgmental about it on him, all right? Again, don't be a doormat, but be forgiving and generous in terms of his awkwardness, for lack of a better word. Yeah, awkwardness. Let's get a message from him. hearing your voice. Well, that's, again, so beautiful. This is a beautiful read. This is going on in the 5D. He hears you. He hears you. So spend a good amount of time in your 5D meditations. Trust those conversations that you guys are having, all right, together. And he wants this communication. He hears you. Look at that beautiful butterfly down here in the corner. Okay, there's this beautiful little butterfly, which there's a transformation that he's going through. And I'm going to put this also together with this star card and this pentacle. Look how he sees you. All right, so beautiful. He sees you as his hope. He sees you as this fine lady filled with your elegance and beauty and self-acceptance and self-awareness. And the communication of those energies is starting to download into him, and it's like a beacon. Your voice is like a beacon in the darkness. So keep communicating those simple things. I'm here for you. I accept you. I accept you exactly as you are. I accept your growth, no matter what it looks like, you know? Let him get solid on the ground. That is just gorgeous. That's gorgeous. Okay? Pile 1, congratulations. That's, I feel very inspired. I feel very inspired by that. Okay? So we're going to go over to pile 2 and see what's happening over there. Okay? With our pile 2. So this is the journey of the sacred bee. Welcome, pile 2. Nice to see you. If you guys are finding these readings helpful, please do like. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear from you. That'd be wonderful. You can hit that little bell so you know when I'm uploading. So we're going to take a look at your masculine here and see where he is energetically in terms of this connection. The Emperor. Wow. The Emperor and the 4 of Discs, okay, which is the 4 of Pentacles, and the Princess of Swords. Okay, so there's a little bit of some kind of contrasting energy. He's definitely feeling, with this Emperor card here coming straight out, he's feeling really powerful, and he's starting to become aware of what is being required of him in terms of stepping into his divine masculine power. But he is still resisting it a little bit. The 4 of Discs, I'm going to say he's just clinging a little bit onto the past, okay? He's just kind of hanging on for a little bit and kind of just, you know, he knows that that beauty is there, and he's wanting to sort of, you know, populate it to a certain, you know, degree. He wants to spread that goodness towards you, all right? But he's just sort of hanging on a little bit to the way things used to be. So it's like he sees this goal for himself in the distance, okay? But there's that hanging back a little bit. And he also feels a little confused and a little conflicted about it. See, in this card, we have this beautiful peacock energy, right? And the peacock, again, relates over here to the Emperor. The peacocks, the male peacock is the one with all the feathers, right? He loves to show off. He loves to parade himself in front of the female. And yet he's sort of like got his eyes closed to it, and he's still down in this contemplation. So again, and these 2 of Swords here, it's interesting because usually in the Rider-Waite, he's flailing that one sword. He's thinking about it. you know, and this duality is still hanging in there a little bit. The bee is in the center on the third eye. So overall, there's a tension energetically between seeing where he needs to go, but not quite willing or ready to take that new step. But this Emperor energy is so powerful, and that beautiful peacock energy is so powerful. It's inevitable that he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to make that move. It just is this sort of sticky, like, I don't want to kind of thing. But have faith, all right? Because that energetic shift, that spiritual shift, it's on its way. Because once you start seeing where you need to go as a soul, it's really hard to turn your back to it, okay? Let's see how he's feeling about the connection. 10 of Wands, oppression. King of Discs, oof, again. And the Priestess, okay. So he knows that you are his divine counterpart. And he knows that you are the source of this beautiful spiritual wisdom, all right? All this beautiful pink and purple, the third eye opening. He knows that you source that of him, and he wants to come into this beautiful power of the King of Pentacles. On the material plane, he wants to step in and provide. His heart feels like it's opening. He wants to open that communication. See, his third eye and your spiritual centeredness, there's a connection here. It's just, once again, he feels really kind of burdened by it. He's just having a little bit of a tough time accepting his own power, your power, and the connectivity of this, of the power that the twin energy has together. It's like he knows how much power when that twin, like that, those two batteries come together and they connect. Right now, he perceives it sort of like, can I carry that energy? Can I actually drag myself to the work that needs to be done? You know, this beehive is where the you know, all the work of making that honey occurs. But he knows that it's a lot of work, you know, that he's not going to be able to just stay in his young player energy anymore. He's got the Emperor out. He's got the King of Discs out. He just isn't sure if he's got what it takes to step in and be that man. But again, that strong connection with this King of Discs and the Priestess being out, he knows it's an inevitable energy. Even though the Priestess is major arcana, so you are definitely like fully in your female power. And emotionally, you know, he's just at that King energy, but on the spiritual energy, he's at the Emperor. So it's just sort of coming into that last part of the journey, right? The 10 is completion. It's like, can I get there? I got to drag myself over here. But that's an illusion. He's just under these illusions of difficulty, because let's be honest, you know, it really is more difficult, isn't it, to stay where you are once you see those truths? But he's not quite clear about that yet. Okay, see what's shifting. Okay, perfect work. That's the 4 of Wands. This came out in pile 1. Everybody's getting 4 of Wands, which is, you know, the twin union card. The Death card. Again. Oh, wow. Which is 5, which is change. And the 5 of Cups. Okay, which is disappointment. Well, you know, union is on its way, and it's requiring major change for him. He's facing letting go of life as he's known it. Complete shift. And he feels disappointed about having to release old things, like just distractions and partying with his friends and being completely superficial. And he's having to sort of grieve letting go of a certain part of his life. things that had kept him very grounded. But again, we have this sort of vulture in here. And the vulture is also, it's interesting coming with the death card, because the vulture sort of picks away at, carcasses, So it's kind of having his eyes a little bit more on the spilt milk of things, rather than what's really being offered. But once he makes that transition and really is willing to let go, this is like somebody who wants to let go of his bachelor self in a way. But once that happens, there's so much beauty available to him. So again, it's like he has this sense of this inevitability of a transformation. He's just, like I said, it's like being at a bachelor party and feeling like, do I really have to release all this? Yes, he does. All right. So it's coming. There's just this hesitancy, and it reminds me of a toddler who's like hanging on to a door as you're trying to get them out of the house, is what's going on with him. Let's see what's the major emotion for him that he's having to release to step into this higher level. What does he have to release? Self-sabotage. Well, there it is. Right. Again, this groundedness. This is kind of the earth plane stuff of where he likes to hang on to his material world and his addictions and the ways that he just sort of starts to move towards a goal and then blows himself up, moves towards a goal and blows himself up. But I do want to reassure you, Divine Feminine, which I don't always do. I do deliver bad news, but the forward movement energies of this reading are so powerful that this might feel like a bit of a push and a pull and a push and a pull, but it's going there. Let's get a message from him. What does he want to say? Clairvoyance. Wow, this is similar to pile 1 too. You might want to check that out. There's, and look where I put that right there on the High Priestess. So there's a big opening in terms of your clairvoyant connection with each other. So I said this before in pile 1, I'm going to say it again. Communicate on the 5D to him that it's okay. It's going to be okay to let go. It's going to be okay to transform. That the things that are going to come forward, he doesn't even see the gifts, but the gifts that will come forward in this new version of himself are far superior to the things he's been letting go of. Sometimes we like to hold on to our toxicity, right? Just because it's familiar. He's having to let go of the familiar, and that feels like a burden. It feels like a trial, but he doesn't completely see all the gifts that will be coming, but he's going to get there because the universe is going to push him there anyhow. All right. Guidance for you. Luck is on your side. Look at that beautiful purple thing. Take it easy, Divine Feminine. This is all in a flow, right? You don't have to do that much yourself to get this going. All right. Except that beautiful clairvoyant communication, but stay in that positive energy. This is all moving. This is so much positive reading today. It's really incredible. Okay, yeah, good job pile 2. So again, if you found something useful in that, please do hit that like button, and helps my channel get out there, and I love talking to all of you guys. So please do come see me. If you like a private reading, you can come to my website, www.everydaygoddess1111. I also do karmic clearings there if you feel that karma is an issue of yours at this time. All right. Hello, pile 3, and welcome. Welcome to your reading. We're taking a look at the divine masculine energies, healing energies. We're looking at how he's feeling about you, the energies of the connections, things he wants to say, what's shifting, what's he up against, what's going on. Okay, so we have the beautiful Light Seers Tarot, which I just adore. Okay, so let's see where he is on the energies of this connection. 8 of Cups. followed by Two of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. Okay, wow. So this guy's having a little bit of a tougher time, okay? He is on an inner journey right now, Divine Feminine, okay? He's having to take some time to look within. I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't been hearing too much from this one, okay? But the good news is that, you know, in the Six of Swords, he's going to be getting through some rough waters, but he's eventually going to get to a clearer place. He's got a suitcase packed over here, you know, but he is being led by these beautiful ravens that are going to bring him to some place more peaceful. But he's got some choppy stuff to get through, some turbulent waters. There are messages out on the horizons for him. He's facing, we've got the red shawl here, he's facing some childhood trauma. It also makes me feel like with the suitcase, it's like he's having to leave home in a metaphorical way. And with the Two of Pentacles at the center, he's feeling indecisive. He's juggling issues, might be juggling you and another, possibly a karmic partner, or just issues in his life. He's having to come to decisions about things. He's trying to find some kind of a balance and decision making. He's got some deep decisions to make about things. He's trying to keep all the balls in the air, but he's got some real deep inner work to do on the spiritual level. And this is very singular. So if you're not hearing from him right now, don't panic. He's going down into the depths of really looking inside. The Eight of Cups is someone who's going on a journey, but they're coming back. And see, there's the sun in the distance. So what he's moving towards is something that's illumination, and he is being guided. The birds represent, you know, messages on the wind, okay? So he's got to listen to these things because he's got to sort of come to terms with some things, earthly things on the first chakra, that red disc, and then this other disc above, which is much more ethereal. So he's got some things in his material plane that are in contrast with his spiritual sense. And really, I'm getting a sense of a karmic or another female involved here, and he's got to start really thinking about the difference between the two. This is somebody, look at this, he's out in the desert. There's nothing else around him, right? Except himself, and this decision that he's got to start thinking also about the contrast between the two. So this is really, it's positive because he's really looking within, but he's on his own for a while, okay? Let's see how he's feeling. Seven of Wands, that's very beautiful. Four of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Okay, so he, you know, he is leaning towards having this offer more with you. You know, he's moving towards wanting to come forward, and but it's so conflicted because the Four of Cups is somebody who's not really seeing what's really being offered, right? So he's got still a lot of this confusion is happening on the spiritual level, and also definitely on the emotional level as well too. It's definitely taking him a bit to figure out exactly what's going on with him. All right, he's not seeing things clearly, and yet he wants to move things forward, you know, at the same time. The Seven is about, you know, divine guidance. And, you know, in the Rider-Waite, it's about strategy. So he's got to figure out how to kind of deal with this kind of karmic partner versus you situation. And, you know, he's in meditation. And again, so there's a looking within, except he's slightly looking away. This sun is anchoring him, but he's still not quite, you know, looking clearly at the real center or the real truth of the matter. Okay? It's in there in the center of his brain, but there's just a lot of confusion sort of surrounding it, right? Not, see this, the both, he's looking away, he's not really wanting to look deeply at his feelings. And yet that beacon is in the center there, and again, the bird shows up. So, you know, messages are coming in from spirit, and they're coming in from the center of his divine self. He's just got a lot of barriers still going on. See, these swords are coming up, the chakras, all the lights, all the colors of the chakra, all that spiritual energy. And he's sort of close to dealing with it. He's in meditation. He's going away. He's being led, and yet he's looking away. So he's sort of at the precipice of a deeper awareness. And this is really hopeful to me, that this, you know, this spiral is this, to me, it means that sort of spiral of learning and spiral of ascension. And there's such a clear light at the center of it. What's shifting? Temperance. King of Wands. And the King of Swords. All right. So he's going to get there. He's going to completely get there. He's going to come into this beautiful balance. And look at these three beautiful, strong male cards. The King of Wands. He's going to master this spiritual energy. King of Swords. He's going to come into this clarity. Again, look at the birds coming right down here, lining up. They're leading him through rough waters. They're sending him spiritual messages, and then they sits basically on his shoulder as his guide. So spirit is going to come in and guide him. He's got this owl, and the owl has beautiful messages in the nighttime, wisdom. It can also represent the death of the old. The flowers start to bloom around him. He's got this little you know, this insect, not the hummingbird, but the dragonfly, which also brings messages from spirit, as does this bat, okay, which is, you know, these nocturnal animals here have this beautiful, deep messages from the shadow self come forward, and they start to illuminate as he starts to look across the vast distance into these mountains. They remind me of the Himalayas, of this wisdom, okay? So lots of spirit animals coming in here for him. The crow, he's got the strength of the lion. Lots of animals showing up in here for him. And this temperance, the balance of light and shadow, comes in for him. So he's moving in a good place. He's just struggling. He's mid-flow. He's mid-flow on that journey. Okay. Let's see what the main, we're going to again look at the main emotion. The main thing that's holding him back and keeping him from actually seeing right now. What does he have to move through to get from this, you know, this inner journey, the struggles that it's going to present, and how does he get here? What's the main thing he needs to get through? He needs to get through helplessness. This is interesting too, because you see here on that journey, he's having to be pulled along and guided. So some of this is him owning that he can make this journey himself. And of course, the masculine energy has got to get rid of this feeling of helplessness so that he can become fully embodied. All right. So this is someone who's been a little like, I want mommy to do it for me. All right. So don't do too much for him. All right. Make sure you resist any of those codependent impulses to do it for him. Right. He's got to do this himself, and he's got to stop acting like he doesn't know, and he doesn't know what's going on, and he doesn't know how to manage it. Right. He will. He will. What does he want to say to you? Researching soul connections. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is somebody. Hey, Pile 3. Something happened with my phone. So I just wanted to finish up because after I pulled the helplessness card and the researching the soul connections. So this is somebody who's aware that that there's a really divine connection between the two of you. Okay. He's looking at it. He knows that your connection is super special. And out of that, he's going to have to start dealing with the helplessness himself. I pulled some guidance for you, and you had gotten the weight of the world, right? Boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry, which is what I had mentioned about the helplessness, right? He's going to have to move through this difficulty. He's going to have to take this journey. He's going to have to start turning forward and looking much more deeply and listening to that beacon of energy deep within his mind to get himself there, okay? And in the end, we also pulled the 7th chakra, okay? Archangel Uriel. So look at this beautiful purple and pink here together, all right? This is about you just relaxing, staying in that divine feminine connection and letting your spirit guides continue to speak to you, to hold you steady in your awareness, your spiritual awareness, so that you can just sort of relax and stay as an open channel while he starts to move through some of these, you know, kind of very 3D resistances that he's got, okay? This is about him growing up. And again, weight of the world, let it go. He's got to grow up on his own. He's got to come into this being on his own energy. Okay, on his own volition. And he will get there. The more you get out of the way, the more he can get there, right? You have to kind of let him become the man he's capable of being. All right, so you can spend some time with Archangel Uriel. All right, any kind of work with her, any kind of meditations, any kind of downloads. This to keep you steady so you can keep your boundaries really clear and not step in and do the work for him. That doesn't mean you can't stay energetically connected though, and send him those messages of, it's going to be all right. I accept you. I'm here for you. Okay? All right. So I hope that was really helpful today. And if you found that helpful, do jump in and hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.